Welcome back to a new edition of 3 Up, 3 Down Podcast Shorts. I'm your host, Brian Hunter. Again, coming with another short episode because instead of having a full slate of games, we only got 2 games in this past week before the rain kind of took us away from that extra innings, the start of the extra innings for that third game for those who watch live. But that'll be made up here soon in the next couple weeks. So we thought we'd just have a fun episode. Got a guest on today that literally has been begging to come on the podcast. And, I was like, now's the time. It was perfect timing. So we definitely are going to have a little bit of fun. But first, before we switch over that, I want to bring back what we talked about last week. Talk about the MO WIFF Classic. Registration's still open. Saturday, August 30th, 2025. We're looking to get teams registered by Monday, the 25th. That way we can have everything taken care of and, know exactly how many teams we're going to have and so on and so forth. It's only $125 per team. So, 2 weeks away. If you have any interest in the league, this is an easy way to get noticed by anybody that's, any of the captains or anything and see if you got what it takes to play in the league. So definitely give it a check. Check it out. So with that being said, let's get into it. Our guest today is one of a kind, someone who's arguably maybe one of the biggest fans of wiffle ball throughout the entire country. He has successfully built his own content from the bottom up, airing over 55 episodes on his Instagram live show, interviewing some of MO WIFF's finest, Sam Skibby, Josh Wheeler, Spencer Foss, Pat Ballman, Drew Maurer, Brody Livingston, and even yours truly. But please welcome to the pod for the first time, Big Dan.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian. Thanks for having me.
What's going on, man? How's your summer been?
Pretty good. Summer's been pretty good so far.
Got anything fun?
Got a lot of football. Went to Maine recently. Got top 4 there.
There we go. That's what's
up. A lot
up.
of that stuff.
So how does it feel to be on the other side of the interview and be the one answering the questions, not asking the questions?
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good, honestly.
Gotcha. A little different pace?
Yeah, it's pretty new.
Well, let's have some fun then. All right, so let's talk about how you got into the game of wiffle ball. We all love it. Tell us your history and your story of how you got into wiffle ball.
So I started watching in 2020 during COVID when there was nothing going on in this ward.
Gotcha.
And then I became a huge fan of them. And then when Robus got drafted into MLW in 2022 is when I started getting more into the fast pitch scene.
Gotcha.
And then after that, in 2023, I got to you guys because of a bad MO WIFF Classic, Robus and Vin Lee played in together with
Right.
Mojo. And then last year, I really got into the league. And then this year, you see guys like Wheeler, Brody, and Klein, 3 of the most talented players in MO WIFF right now.
Well, that's awesome. So you just kind of organically just found it, found us and just kind of started watching and following along.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that talks about I was going to ask you how you heard about MO WIFF, but that kind of answered that one and how long you've been following us. So it seems like you've been following us for, what'd you say, about a couple years? 2 or 3 years? Got you. From an outsider's perspective, what intrigues you the most about MO WIFF? What keeps you watching?
Well, no speed limit. I like it no speed limit better than speed limit, personally.
Okay.
And another thing I like about it is that fielding rule.
The fielding rule? What do you mean?
With like 5 guys in the field, because 5-man lineups I think are very interesting.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're talking about the new rule this year where we go. If you field 5, you can bat 5.
Yes.
Or if you bat 5, you can field 5.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, we did that to just keep more people potentially in the league, right? As teams we're starting to go to 4-man lineups, and we're building that way. Some of our pitching's got to that point to where it's not a necessity, but the more you see a pitcher, the better you're going to kind of get that hitter, get somebody. So, it's just kind of there. But I mean, that's why we trying to change that rule there.
I agree. I really like it.
Gotcha. Is there anything you'd want to see different?
Anything I want to see different? Oh, well, I don't really want to see that much different. I just feel like there's some stuff that I can change. Like maybe do like UF rules, like for a home on a ground ball.
Gotcha. You're talking like for a double play kind of thing, or?
Yeah, for double plays.
Well, as somebody who's been in the box and grounded into 2 double plays this year, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I mean, I understand UWIF's version of it. What they like. I get it. But it adds a little fun to ours, right?
Yeah.
when Paul Pugh is the one that turns a double play on me, it's somebody you don't expect to see it. So it was kind of cool to see. Then the other one, it came straight out of the arm, straight out of the arm of Mojo player. So it was just like, okay, just put my head down, laugh about it, and move forward.
Yeah.
So you've been watching for a couple years. You got any favorite players or any favorite teams that you root for?
Couple. Brody Livingston.
Okay.
One of my favorite players in the country since I've started watching fast pitch refs. Love the guy. Another player that I really like is Connor Jaso. Throws 100 miles per hour and hits. Pat Ballman, another guy that I'm a huge fan of. I like his game a lot. Then the last one I really like is Josh Wheeler.
Got you. What about Wheeler?
I really like his pitching.
Do you? Yeah, we haven't got to see him pitch. We haven't got to see him pitch in a while, just because of the way the schedule works, rainouts, and then he gets traded where there's another layoff. So we haven't got to see him on the mound in a while on MO WIFF.
Yep.
We're hopefully going to get to see him this past week, and I mean he was getting warmed up and everything, but when the sirens went off, that was it. I mean the rain was pounding down on the field, and I mean it was just, we unfortunately had to call it. So his debut will have to wait until next week. His bomber debut, since he got traded.
Yep. I agree.
Let's say you're a captain of a tournament team. All right. You get 5 guys off Mo WIFF rosters to build the team. Who are you taking as your 5th? Because you just named 4, I'm assuming. You just named 4 of your favorites. So who are you taking as a 5th? And that's the
So Brody, Connor, Pat, and Wheeler for sure I take. And then 5th, I want a captain. I'm going Sam Skibby.
You taking Sam Skibby? All right. You think he's going to be able to captain that ship?
Yep.
Me too. I think he'd do just fine.
Yeah. I feel like he could do really good hitting. Because I got 4 arms: Connor, Brody, Ballman, Wheeler.
What kind of tournament would you put that team in?
Mo WIFF Classic.
Oh, for the Classic? That way it's completely regular, just the normal style Mo WIFF rules?
Yep.
You don't think that team could go anywhere else and do some damage?
I think it could do really good in UF.
All right.
And BOW Fall.
Got you. Hey, I don't know who's got teams. Maybe that's a team you could put together and run.
Maybe.
All right. So I know you've been, like you said, you've been watching kind of our games and everything. What's been some of your favorite moments? Moments this season. What's really surprised you? Has anybody surprised you as a player, or any team surprised you, or anything like that?
Well, one person that surprised me big time was Spencer Foss.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I didn't really know him until this year, and then he got really good out of nowhere.
Well, Spencer was good at the end of last year. Kind of took that ace roll over of the Thunderbirds, and this year he's definitely been the ace of the Thunderbirds this year. It's kind of hard to have a team with Brody and call somebody else your ace, but at the same time, I put the ball in Spencer's hand when we wanted it, when we wanted the W the most.
Yeah. Another guy that surprised me is Patrick Bowman hitting. I feel like he's turned into an all-around player this year. From last year, he was a PO. Now he's just an all-around player.
Oh, I'll agree. I mean, he just tears the cover off the ball, man. It's nuts how he can hit.
And then the last one I got is Josh Wheeler. Him being from nowhere near the scene to now being one of the top players in that league is insane to me.
I'd say top pitchers. I mean, once he starts hitting, I think once he starts hitting, he will be that great 2-way player. And I think it's just going to be just a squeaky ground ball that just gets through the infield or something. I think he needs that first hit, and I think Wheeler is going to be a good two. The hit's just going to start coming.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yep. All right, so I got a feeling I'm going to know these answers here, but I'm still going to ask it. Let's say end of the year, end of the season, award time, Rookie of the Year, Cy Wiffle, MVP for Mo WIFF. Who are you looking at?
Patrick Ballman MVP.
Okay.
I feel like he's been really good pitching and hitting this year. Another guy that I see in potential is Brody Livingston.
Okay.
Those are 2 guys I see really winning the MVP. Cy Wiffle, I'm gonna give 2 candidates each. Cy Wiffle, I'm gonna go Patrick Bowman and James Klein as my top 2. They haven't given up a 1 yet this year, in my opinion.
Well, that's not your opinion. That's fact.
In Mo WIFF. And
Yep.
if they keep doing that for the whole season, they're going to be the top 2 side with contenders, no matter what.
Right.
And then Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go Brody and Klein as my top 2. Brody's been one of the best players this year, and same with Klein.
All right. Gotcha. So you got a couple. You got a couple for each one. All right. I like it. We're 3 weeks away from playoffs, right? Just because of the rainouts and how we figured it out to kind of keep ourselves in a good situation. We're going to play 3 more weeks, so we're going to play into week 18 this year. Who do you think's got the best shot to bring home the championship?
The best shot to bring a championship. I
Who do
have
you
3
want to
teams.
see? Who do you want to see? Okay, 3 teams. All right.
I think the Porch can win it because Patrick Bowman's been really nasty, and the hitting's just nasty, really good right now. Pack, Caleb, Cowan, Zach Gunn. Zach Gunn's another guy that surprised me this year. And
Yep.
then John Strachowski's really good too from NWA. And then the other 2 guys, Greg Thorne and Tom Wilkerson, are just veterans that they need.
Yep.
Another team that I can see winning the whole thing is the Thunderbirds, your team. You guys got their lockdown pitching in Foss and Brody, and then hitting you got Brody, Nichols, and Dom. And Dom's just hitting, and Dom's one of the best pitchers in MO WIFF too, in my opinion.
Hey, I'm putting the bat on the ball lately. All right, give me
Yeah.
my flowers here, Dan. I'm putting the
And
bat on
you.
the ball. Granted, I'm grounding out, but at least ball's being put in play. No, I'm just
And
playing.
Nichols.
I'm just playing. Oh yeah, Nick, dude, you were right with those 3. We're talking about hitting. So
Brody, Dom, Nichols. And then I got 2 more actually.
Yeah.
Archers on another team. Drew Marr, James Klein, like that pitching staff. Line up with Roy, Tony, Jay Rich, Klein, Marr. They can go anywhere so they can believe. And then last team is Mojo. When you got Sam Skibby, Gus Skibby, Jackson Crosby, Jordan Smith, Connor Jaso all on one team, and Curtin Mile, that's literally a UF roster.
yeah.
And then you got Connor Jaso, Gus Skibby, Sam Skibby on the mound. And Jackson Crosby. That's just a UF squad to me.
It's not fun to see. That's for damn sure. Makes for some great games. Probably say
Yep.
makes for some very good pitching games, but it's definitely fun to see when they're all able to be there and when they're all on, right? And that's very rarely have I seen them all there and not be on. It's nuts.
I agree.
So here's a fun question. So we'll get to your show here. All right. So who's someone from Mo WIFF that you haven't been able to interview yet that you want to have on your show?
Interesting. So 3 guys.
Oh, 3 guys. All right, cool.
James Klein, because I
Okay.
want to talk about him for 100 with Johnny with Q.
Okay.
Next one, Connor Jaso.
Why haven't you had Connor on before?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you did.
Maybe once, but that was like a short time.
Got you. Okay.
And then Cam Smith.
Got you.
Because I want to talk to him about the commissioner stuff.
Got you. Okay. All right. We might be able to make that happen. Have a Mo WIFF episode. Maybe I could. Maybe I can't say anything about Connor. I don't have any pull for any of them. Period. But I can definitely get in their ear and say something.
Okay.
But all right, man. So normally at the end of my interviews, I like to let my guests ask me questions. So what questions do you have for me? Let's flip it back around, and you can kind of ask me a couple questions.
So my question for you is, how did you become a T-Boards captain? Because I know Nichols was the captain, and then you left the captain. Then you took it over. Like, how did that happen?
So, I mean, like you and me discussed on the first time I was on your pod, Nichols came to me and asked, and he him and his wife were pregnant with their 3rd child, and he was wanting to be able to spend more time at home and stuff that way. Maybe not play as much, but at the same time, he just he wanted to hand the captaincy over to somebody who knew was going to help continue and grow the Thunderbird brand, right? And just have a good time. So that's why he asked me, or at least that's how I think he asked me. I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't know exactly how he got to me with it, but he told me he wanted me to do it. So, I take honor in that. So that's how I kind of took over the team and kind of, make sure that we do right by what he started when he started this team, when the Thunderbirds first started in 2022. So that's just my end all be all goal. Continue what he started.
So what is the T-Boards future looking like with no first round picks to 2026, 2027, and 2028?
Well, We don't know if it's going to be 2028 right now. It very well may be. It very well may be. Well, 2027, 2028. I have my first round pick. All right, that's guaranteed. Okay, because it was when I traded for Brody and traded up to that number 2 slot. I traded to the Kings our next three first rounds. So, with that being said, that was 2025, 2026,
And 2027.
and then 2027. But 2027 can stay with me if we're not able to retain a player, that we feel is, if we get a compensation pick, then that pick would also go to the Kings, which I think the Kings, I don't think it even goes to Kings. I think it goes to the Melonheads, I think, potentially. So there's a little fun there. So as it stands right now, I've lost my 2025, 2026, and maybe my 2027 first round pick. But I traded that for Brody Livingston. Would I do it again? Hell yeah. Twice on Sunday. So,
Brody's the best player in the league, so you need him back.
and when I've got a core that I've already signed through to 2027, when it comes to Dom and Spencer, I'm not worried about it. The likes of, Mark Vogler, who he hasn't played much this year, but I mean, he showed up cold as hell and put the bat on the ball, and was really swinging it. John Willenbrink, they're not big name people that a lot of people, know, but every team needs those little pieces, those camaraderie guys that kind of help build the team up. So, I mean, that's where our future sits. Hopefully Andrew wants to stay along with us. But if he's not getting any younger, he wants to play with his friends. We're all we're end all be all. The goal is to have fun at MO WIFF and everything. So if he ends up leaving, by all means, it's just him doing what he wants to do. And I mean, he's been respectful about it and very open and honest with me. So the future is A, try to lock him down. B, try to replace him if not.
Nice.
All right. So I thought of another question while we were talking. Are you going to make it out here for the MO WIFF Classic?
I am not. I got a football scrimmage that day.
Oh, that's crazy. That's going to be a good time, man. Going to be a good time.
I wish.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate you for coming on with us today. I'm maybe able to be on your show and everything. So I hope all is well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks again for being on.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Peace.
Yep. Peace. I want to thank Big Dan for giving us his time today. We definitely had a little bit of fun kind of flipping the tables on him when he's normally the one that asks the questions. He gets to be the one answering the questions, so I appreciate his time and everything that way. Kind of want to go over a little bit before we wrap up here today. Talk about the next 3 weeks of schedule. So even though we're in the middle of week 15, because of the rainouts and everything, we would, just for timing's sake, we're going to play 3 more weeks. So what we're looking at is week 16, which will be this coming Thursday. The Bombers and Purge are going to play their 2-game set that they were set to play. Then they're going to finish that extra inning game that got rained out. That literally is in a rain delay right now from this past Thursday. So we're going to kind of get that going. Then at the end of that inning, we're going to see Archers Kings. Going into week 17, which is next week, Bombers and Thunderbirds. Mamba's Mojo Purge, they're finishing up their end of their game from the week 6 under the same situation to where we got rained out. So they've kind of been in that same situation. So that game right now is going into the bottom of the third. Mojo are up 3-0. 3 innings is a complete game, is what we consider a complete game here. So unless the Purge come back and tie it, that game will be concluded after 3 innings. Then the Purge will take on the Melonheads for their regularly scheduled game. Then that takes us to week 18, which, we don't normally play 18 weeks. We normally only play with 17. But with all the rain and we want to make sure we got enough time, add in the extra week. Thunderbirds are going to play the Melonheads to wrap up their season. Archers Mambas to wrap up their season. Mojo Kings to wrap up their season. So we got a couple inner division games pretty much to wrap up. And who knows? That Archer's Mamba series or that Mojo, and that Mojo's King series, there could be playoff implications literally going down to the wire. So we're definitely going to have a lot of fun with that one. As always, you can catch all of our games live on YouTube. So make sure you definitely are like and subscribe, and you ring that bell to the channel. That way, if anything ever comes out, or we post anything, you're alerted right away, so you can definitely stay on top. And let's not forget, postseason's just right around the corner, coming in September 4th. That's when we start our playoffs. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But with all that being said, I'm your host, Brian Hunter, and thanks for watching. And peace out from Brian.